So today is National Beer Day. It's a well-known part of American history and, of course, the way of life here in Wisconsin. So we're joined by Shawn Knoche. He works at Frank Beer Distributors, and he also teaches courses at Madison College about beer. We are so excited you're here.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the best way to sample a beer to kick things off.
Sure. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but the way I prefer is to try and get as many nuances out of the beer as you possibly can. And the way to do that is to look at the beer, to smell the beer, and then finally to taste the beer and see what you're doing and pick up some of those things. So if you guys are all right, I'll crack one open here.
Yes.
You want to help us through this?
Let's work through it a little bit.
Which one do you think is
We're going to start with something a little lighter, and then we'll finish.
Multiple beers?
Yeah. We got permission for this, by the way.
Yep.
Just sips, Johnny, sips only.
We'll
we do have work to do.
I work better on beer.
I'm not going to fill her all the way up for you there,
Thank
but
you.
a couple different styles of beer glasses here.
Okay, so
Each different beer
What
has
are we drinking here?
Well, this is Esser's Best. It's a beer that's been around since the 1800s here in Wisconsin.
Okay, so we'll let you pour first.
Yeah. Help us out.
So the brewery, Esser's, Cross Plains, Wisconsin, originally founded,
Yes.
sixth generation, so very local. This is one of the old original German recipes.
Looks
It's
good.
beautiful.
Like the color of
So
it.
we take a look at it, kind of see what we see.
Okay.
You know, nice golden color, fairly clear, which gives you the impression that you're probably going to be drinking something that's lighter and crisp. It's filtered, so it gets out some of the other impurities and other flavors. So you're looking for something that's really light and tasteful. Go ahead and take a sniff. You get some nice notes,
Yeah, I like
nice notes of corn in there,
Smells good.
some meal. Really nice flavors. It's sweet. And then you go ahead and take a sip, and what we actually like to do is chew the beer a little bit, pick up some of those flavor nuances.
That's good.
It's
Sweet,
real
little
crisp and sweet.
little
Yeah.
sweetness to it.
Really good.
Yeah, so not a whole lot of different, some people find some hop flavors and bitter profiles a little offensive, on the palate, but
Yeah.
it takes a while to get used to those. This is not one of those beers. This
No,
beer
it's
is
definitely
light,
sweet.
crisp, easy drinking.
What's a good snack with
summer.
a sweet beer?
Oh,
What would I pair up with like a sweeter beer like this?
So there's
Not
two-
sweet, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, so you look at something that's very similar, that's going to have some of these same flavors, and a lot of beer is basically, it's cooked barley. It's basically, one of the predecessors making bread. So if you take kind of like a pretzel, something that's also the same idea, it's basically cooked bread, and you take that, and you're going to have a perfect snack. They're going to have very similar flavor profiles when you have them, plus the saltiness of the pretzel kind of contrasts a little bit with the sweetness of the beer, and it gives you a nice mix for it.
Nice.
It's kind of like a good summer beer, too.
Absolutely.
I like this one.
Refer to it as a lawnmower beer sometimes. So
Yeah,
That's your
perfect,
lawnmower
perfect.
beer? I always do lawnmower cigars, but I
absolutely.
gotta mix it up.
Okay, so you teach people about the so-called beer journey. So what does that mean?
Absolutely. So the beer journey that I teach people in my class at Madison College and for the beer distributor, it's basically a journey to get through the different styles of beer and how to taste them. And this is one of the beers that you try as an intro beer, something that's very light, something like Miller High Life, Miller Lite, Coors Light, Esser's Best. These are kind of your intro beers. From there, you kind of take a step up in some flavor profiles, try some different things that got a little bit more, like Spotted Cow. Lenny's Honey Bites is a good beer. We call those beers crossover beers. And from there, you start experimenting a little bit more in the different styles, things like ambers, IPAs, brown ales, and work your way up to the things that really take some time to get used to, like this one here, this New Glarus Sour. So,
Should we try it?
We can crack that one open.
And we need to know how to do the perfect pour,
Yep, I'll
too.
show you that
Yes.
right here
Okay.
as we do it. So,
We have a little
You
bit
want-
of time
you want
left,
this
but
beer?
this
Yeah,
is
that'll
important
be the perfect
information.
glass.
I actually do want to see this really bad.
Okay.
That is the coolest bottle. What is that?
so this is one of the New Glarus R&D beers that they only sell down at the brewery.
Nice.
Beautiful.
It's brewed in cold chips down there, wooden barrels. So if you've ever been down there, it's their original brewery now. Is where they have their R&D and do all their fruit beers. This is a wild sour ale.
Okay, how do you do?
Okay.
So
Tell
you
me
pour,
what
you're going to pour down the side of the glass at a 45-degree angle. You don't have to go slow. This beer's not going to have a lot of carbonation, so you're not going to see a lot of head at the end. But then as you
Okay.
get up towards the middle, you can pour
You
right
do
down.
want to pour straight up to get some
Now you
type of
pour
head.
down, you want some head in there. As you see, you get that nice head at the top there. And what we're really doing there is we're increasing those aromatics. The head at the top of the beer is what has those smells that you're going to pick up, which really allows you to pick up more of the nuances of the beer along the way.
Huh.
So I'll give you that one because we only got one there. Go ahead and give that
Yeah.
a shot.
Okay.
Taste test, go.
It's like a little. I know must is the bad word to that, but compared to that first one,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're going to pick up sour notes, things along those lines that are going to come up on your nose.
this is definitely sour.
Yep,
right.
definitely a beer that takes a little while to get used to, but once you do, they're some of the best beers in the world are some of those lambic styles, which is what that is. We talk about National Beer Day today. We don't have enough holidays to celebrate beer
Yeah.
like St. Patrick's Day and Cinco de Mayo, so we
Right.
had to squeeze one in between there in April.
Yeah.
And it's a nice little holiday for us. It's only about 5 years old where it's actually been officially recognized. It was started in 2009, and then the government recognized it in 2017. And it's a great little story about the the repeal of Prohibition, the start of it before they actually repealed. The repeal day is in December, but this was the Cullen-Harrison Act, and it allowed for 3-2 beer to be brewed and served in certain states if the states allowed it. So that's what we're actually celebrating today, and I think it's great, you know, that we're able to do it on a Friday afternoon happy hour. What could be better,
Good
right?
job,
All right, man.
Well, Sean,
Cheers.
thank you so much.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
Thank you
Great
very
to
much.
have you.